Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Monday, March 24th. It is 6:23 right now. We have market opening up in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. One last thing. So we are good to go here. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Okay, so let me get this link sent out to you guys. Looks like we are good to go. Got these links sent out. We are good to go here. So as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. So go here on the daily time frame. Down to the 4 hour time frame. Going down to the 2 hour. To the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10 minute. It's a lot of liquidity kind of bunched up in this one area over here. So if price does come back down, it's going to knock all of it out. A bunch of liquidity is hanging out down here. All right, looks like we are good to go. So good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, March 24th. It is 6:27 right now. We have market opening up in about 3 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. A bunch of liquidity sitting right here at 42,688. I mean, this might get hit on open or might get hit pre-market, but those are the closest levels of liquidity below. And the closest level of liquidity above is at 42,759. So we'll see what happens here shortly. Got liquidity right there marked up. Looking over here at the overall trend bias, currently on the higher time frames, price is bullish. You can see price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. On the shorter time frames, price is also bullish. 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute time frames, price, or on the 10-minute and 5-minute, price is bullish here above the pivots, trend meters green, and the pivots are angling up. However, on the 1 minute over here, price is actually shifting to the downside. So this might be a little retracement and then continuation back up, or this might be a initiation of reversal to the opposite end. So we'll kind of see what happens here when the market opens up. Let me check the news real quick over here. So the news for today, we have news at 6:45. We had some pre-market news over here at 5:30, which is the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. It wasn't really a high impact news event, but it was, let's see, medium impact. So right here at 5:30, we had this, and there we go. So this liquidity here is getting knocked out. Like I mentioned, I said it's probably going to get knocked out here pre-market because the volatility is going to pick up, and we got a bunch of liquidity kind of just sitting right there. Price is knocking it out, so I just want to clean this up a little bit because I don't want to have all this mess here. But anyways, for the news for today, we have one news event at 6:45, and that's about it. We have S&P Global Composite PMI, Global Services PMI, and Manufacturing PMI. All high to medium impact. So we have market opening up in about, yeah, there we go. So it's all knocked out right here. This is pretty much what I was kind of anticipating because there was so much liquidity just hanging out there. We have the breakout opening up in about a few seconds here, 15 seconds. If this candle here is bigger than 50 points, then it's supposed to be flipped. If it's not, then it's going to be for a sell. So breakout for today is setting up for a sell. We got market opening up in about 3 seconds, and market is now open. So here we go for the breakout. If anybody is looking to take that, I'll come back and take a look at that in a few. This is news here at 6:45. So let me just color this blue and then dot that out. And obviously we have the sellers in control from right here. So we will see what happens here. Breakout's currently running in profit right there. It's dropping further. We got opening price on this candle right here. We're currently at the session, so let's see what happens here. How price reacts to the area at this point. Looking over here at the market profile, we have a rejection off the point of control. So the sells do look nice so far. Looking at this as well, we have a rejection off the 30-minute market profile right there. We got our top rejection right here off the 1-hour market profile. We've got rejection right here as well off the volume profile. So everything here is kind of pointing towards a sell right now. Clean chart, price is coming down, no rejections, but it is coming down. And looking over here at the SR chart, much right here where price is currently at. We need to get an upper zone, 4-hour zone right here. Price is currently in the support, it looks like. Here, let's see. All right, we got price within the support right now. Nearest resistance is pretty far up. All right, so it's bouncing off the 4-hour support right now. I think the breakout already hit TP. So if you guys take the breakout right there, full TP for a 120, if you guys caught that, Steven, I'm pretty sure you got that, or you should have. Steven in here right now. Steven is not here. Send it to Steven real quick. Steven, I think Steven's the main person who's probably looking for the breakouts or taking the breakouts. He has the indicator, so he probably took it. All right, we got price pushing back up, which is completely fine. We got price pushing right back up. Possible setup for NPSV2 as price pushes up higher. So looking at this right here, we're currently at the point of control. Price again is rejecting off the point of control right here. We don't really have confluences for a buy right now, so, or we do. take that back. We do have confluences for a buy here. We have a rejection right here off the point of control, or us, not point of control, value high. So on 30-minute time frame, we have a rejection right here off the value high. So the bias could be valid. Looking over here on the 1 hour time frame, we also have a rejection right here off the point of control and the value high. Nothing here on the volume profile yet, but possibly on the next candle. We have a rejection right here off the clean chart. Off this whole number right here, 42,650. We got price currently at the 1 minute support resistance. In this area over here, it's kind of bunched up. Price is pushing up higher. We get the buy signal right there, which closed. So you have a possible MPSV2 starting to set up over here for a possible buy. Buy signal right there closed. The price is pushing up. We're looking for price to push up, retrace, continue up higher. Target area for this to reach is going to be this liquidity target up here. And then we got 10 minutes before news. Thanks, Glenn, for the heads up. We got news over here at 6:45. It's high impact. A lot of inflation news right here. So this might be a tricky entry, guys, if we do get an entry here for an NPSV2. Because we got the news coming up shortly. If I got enough confluences, possibly I'll look for the entry, but looking at this so far, we have confluences on the 30-minute and 1 hour. We don't really have any confluences here on the volume profile. We have a confluence here on the clean chart. ATR right now is currently 25. You know, I actually don't like how these candles are starting to play out right here. We're starting to get some blocky candles, lots of big wicks. So this is going to be tricky because like Glenn said, we have news coming up in about 10 minutes. This is high impact news event that's coming up. So this is going to be really tricky because this might be manipulation in the market prior to news. So you might want to be careful about this entry here, guys. I'll keep watching it. I'll keep looking at the price action and how these candles are moving. If the candle starts to move kind of funky, then I'm probably not going to take it, obviously, because you don't want to be taking price action that's kind of all over the place, right? You want it to be moving a little smoothly, at least to some extent. If anything, price might come up and then fake out around this area and come back down. Hey, what's up, Sam? Morning. See who else is here so far. Morning, Lila. Morning, Maria. Morning, Christian. Morning, guys. Yeah, we have an NPSV2 setting up right here. So looking at this so far. Gap right there too. Yeah, I don't know about this guy. It's a little too close to the news event right here. I don't like how these candles, the price action boom. You can see the volatility here starting to kind of flatten out a little bit. Hey, brilliant morning. So this right here, like I said, the volume is starting to kind of die out. So it looks like price is trying to reach this liquidity target. It failed, and now it's coming back down. Or what might happen here. So this is kind of what I see happening. I probably see price consolidating and ranging around this area for a while. At least until news happens right here, this blue line. So you guys see how the candles, they kind of die out a little bit, then they start to violently move in one direction. So I'd be kind of worried about taking any entries here because I think this here is going to consolidate for a bit. At least until this news event right here. So if you guys want to take this, if this candle closes green or if any candle closes green after this, this is a possible NPSV2. The only problem that I see here is that price is probably going to consolidate here for a bit. So I see some possible price consolidation. Around this area right here. All right, we have a pending sell signal right here. Yeah, these candles are too big, guys. If you want to take this, I mean, feel free. Like I said, price is kind of consolidating around this area. I think this candle is way too big. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. This is an NPSV2. I just don't like the price action. We have news coming up right here in about 7 minutes. This candle is a little too big. So if you guys want to take it, mark it up for you guys here. Again, like I said, I'm not taking this position here. It's too close to news. And the price action here is not good. You can see how price here was kind of dying out a little bit. And all of a sudden, these two candles have these huge, these huge candles that just pop up at this point. So again, this here is an MPSV2. I'm not taking it. You guys can see the big wicks on both ends over here. So it's currently running, but price is in this consolidation. Like I was saying earlier, it's probably going to consolidate until news right here at 6:45. So we got about 6 minutes till news. Not in this position. I just wanted to mark it up for you guys. I'm probably going to take this off shortly because I don't want you guys to think that I'm in the position. I'm going to take it off right now. I just want to give you guys a heads up that this is an MPSV2. I'll come back and mark it up a little later, but like I said, price here is consolidating within the zone that I marked up. It's probably going to stay within this area until news happens at 6:45. Yeah, Christian said we learned our lesson on those big candles a couple weeks before. Better to be careful than sorry. Yeah, especially when it's coming up to big high impact news event right here. Inflation news is not something to really play around with. Obviously, inflation is up, so kind of see. But anyways, here's the MPSV2. It's still running in profit. It's on its way up right now. This is actually this would be a tricky entry for us because we've been looking at these MPSV2s, and I have mentioned before, if it ever goes into drawdown, it usually becomes a tricky entry because usually doesn't go into drawdown very much or very often, if ever. So there you go, full TP on the MPSV2 if anybody caught that. I didn't catch that trade there, so it's not counting as an official trade. The only trades that count as official trades are the ones that I actually take. It did hit the target that we were aiming for. I mentioned earlier, liquidity target here is going to be where price pushes up to. And then we have news coming up shortly. I mean, either way, this is kind of a tricky entry because, like I said, if we ever get some retracement or some drawdown, it usually, it doesn't always happen like that. So if it ever draws down, it's usually going to be either a loss or it's going to be a trade that kind of goes for a while. So if you guys caught that, nice work. If you guys didn't catch it, completely fine. We'll be waiting for the next one here. We got news coming up in about 4 minutes. So I would sit back for a little bit, wait for the news here to pass. Wouldn't matter because there's nothing for us to take here anyways. Double checking my Ninja's good. All right, so price is pushing up right here. There's no confluence here on the 1 minute market profile. We did have the confluence right there on the 30-minute, confluence on the 1 hour. No confluence on the volume profile. No confluence here on the clean chart. Now price is blasting right through the 1 minute support resistance. So the 1 minute zones are up here. These pretty much got blasted through. The next zone here is going to be pretty far up. Yeah, 4 hour zone is going to be way up here. I don't think there's any 1 hour ones anywhere nearby. Nope. All right, so that's the closest resistance right there for support resistance. So leave this SR chart alone right now. And let's see what happens here when news pops up. So looking at the news for today, looks like news is forecasted to be negative. So global services PMI high impact forecasted to be 50.8. It was 51 last month. It's forecasted to be 50.8 today. Same with manufacturing PMI. It was 52.7, forecast to be 51.8. And then over here as well, 51.6 for the composite PMI, forecast to be 51.5. So we'll see what happens shortly. We got this coming up in about 2 minutes or a minute and a half. I don't see any other entries here. So we had the buy signal come up. We have engulfing B1 right here, and then possibly if another engulfing B1 comes up, that's going to be an A++ setup. But we do have news right here on the next candle, or the next candle and a half. So probably not the best one to look for or look at. Clean that up. So what I'm going to do now, guys, well, not now, but I'm going to start doing this. I've been doing this last week, didn't really mention it. I'm going to leave the most recent liquidity target up that gets triggered. So like, for example, this one over here got triggered. So I'm going to leave this up right here because this is going to be the difference between price breaking and closing above it, or price faking out and coming back below it. Right. So I'm going to keep the most recent liquidity target so we can kind of use this as a threshold if price ends up pushing above it or if it comes back below. Hey, Steven, we just got here super late. The breakout hit already. I don't know if you caught it. I mean, you have an indicator, so I guess you could have caught it yourself. But the breakout hit for the day was right here. Here, I'll just take or I already took a screenshot of it. Send it to you earlier. Here, I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to post it in the Discord real quick. Yeah, so if you guys caught the breakout this morning, like literally went straight to TP right there. Pretty solid entry. Waiting for news here to pass. The news came up right here. This is the news candle. You guys can see the huge spike. This is why we don't trade news. So I did kind of what I expected. You know, I was expecting a big reaction to the inflation news right there. Inflation news is a little bit mixed. It looks like the S&P services. So global services PMI was positive. Composite and manufacturing is still loading right now. Check CNBC any updates here. See, very few news here. Dow rallies more than 350 points to start week on hopes Trump is softening tariff stance. Yeah, that was kind of expected. So we will come back and take a look at that shortly. News here still hasn't loaded. Okay, so composite PMI was positive, services PMI was positive, manufacturing PMI was negative. So mixed news right there. We'll kind of see how price here reacts to it. This right here was a news candle. It's a big wick candle. Kind of go from there. So there's a A++ setting up right here, but this is like right at the news candle. Typically, whenever news comes up like this, which is high impact, I usually try to wait about 10 minutes before and after to see how market reacts to the news event. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking this here. I mean, if you guys really want to take it, this is an A++ setting up right here. So I'll mark this up for you guys if anybody is looking to take it. I'm not taking this position, but this is an A++ setup nonetheless. So I'll leave this up for a little bit. If it kind of goes back and forth, I'll take it off and I'll put it back on later. But this is an A++ setup. Yeah, Steven said it always hits when I miss it. Yeah, that was a pretty smooth breakout for the day, Steven. It went straight to it without any drawdown. It literally just went straight down on that first opening candle. I thought you would have been here because you were messaging me prior, so I thought you were waiting for it. I mean, it's all good, Steven. Just wait for the next one. All right, so there's nothing here right now. I'm going to take this off a little bit. Like I said, I wouldn't really take an entry here. You guys can see how price is kind of moving back and forth at this point. Looks like this might be another area of consolidation here. So the trade's still running. If you guys decided to take the entry there, it almost hit TP, not fully there yet, but it almost hit TP. Again, this is an A++ setup, not in the position, but we are following it here. We're kind of stuck in this range here. So you can see over here, price has been ranging within this area for a while. Fakes out, comes back into the range, pushes above, another range right here. We are about 3 minutes past news. The news happened right here on this red candle. Price in here is consolidating within this area. This is an A++ setup. We had an MPSV2 come up right here right before news. And then we had A++ setup come up over here right after news. So just a little tricky areas to be trading in. Also, today's Monday, so it's another thing to keep into consideration. As you guys know, Monday and Fridays are usually the riskier days to trade. Monday because people are re-entering the market from the weekend, so you get a lot of volatility that's like unaccounted for. You know, basically, you don't know if it's like just smooth volatility or if it's people who are just re-entering the market from the weekend. And then Fridays is risky because people are exiting the market for the weekend. Not a lot of people hold positions over the weekend, guys, unless you're able to cover the margin. Margin is super, super expensive with futures. So most people do not hold over the weekend. The only people who really hold over the weekend are like institutions and market makers, of course, because they have the capital to back the position. But most retail traders do not hold over the weekend. I don't think there's any prop firms that allow to hold over the weekend either. So here we go, full TP right there on the A++ setup. So the good thing here is that our setups are hitting, guys, right? The MPSV2 here hit, the A++ setup over here also hit. We're just being a little cautious, or I'm being a little cautious at least, because news happened right here, high impact news at 6:45. But the good thing here is that the entries are hitting. MPSV2, A++, both hit for full TP. Hey, what's up, CJ? Morning. Yeah, CJ said 2 missed setups. Yeah, there should be setups though, CJ. I don't know if you would have taken these because they were right between news. I mean, maybe you would have, but this one happened literally right before news at 6:40. We had news at 6:45. It was high impact, and then this one happened at 6:48, a few minutes after. Steven said, Sean, Mondays and Fridays, I wake up in the afternoon. I have to wake up these days, take the break out, and go back to sleep. Yeah, I know it's tough, Steven, with your schedule. It's tough to wake up for this. I mean, it's tough for me. For some reason lately, it's been harder for me to wake up. I've been trying to sleep earlier and earlier and earlier, but I just can never fall asleep. And then when I do sleep, I wake up super groggy. Like today, I got out of bed super late. Usually I'm up at like 5:30, but lately I've been getting up, closer to 6 right before market open. All right, we got nothing here, guys. This A++ setup did hit full TP, and then now we got price back in the consolidation range. So I do this range over here. Price is pretty much respecting it. What happened is price pushed out, then it came right back down. I might have to wait until 7 o'clock for entry, which is going to be completely fine because looking over here at the 30-minute, actually, I don't really like that it's so far out like this. So we have the market profile here. So typically, as you guys have seen from last week, I like when the market profile closes near the zones, right? Because we can have some sort of rejection off that point immediately on open. The thing that I don't like about this here is that price is so far out, right? So in order for me to get a rejection, I need price to come all the way back down here to the value high and then bounce off it. It's a big drop right there. Not a huge drop, but it's 60 points, so it's got a distance. Same with this over here on the 1 hour, right? Same thing. If price closes above here, I need to wait for it to come back here for me to get that balance. I'll have no confluence unless price does come back down to that point. Looking over here at the volume profile, price is pretty far above as well. Looking over here at the clean chart, price did reject off this whole number. And it's kind of, this is a bit of a crazy candle here, this green one. Let's go back over here real quick. Yeah, price action today's been kind of weird with the candles specifically. So if you look at these 1 minute candles, like these candles kind of come up out of random. Not too bad at random, but they do come up kind of randomly. Like there was one that happened over here on open when the breakout was running. And then there's one right here with the news and right before news. And then right here, this candle kind of came up and then it spiked both ways. It's about a 50-point candle. The ATR is currently at 30 right now. So with the ATR at 30, you're looking at an average of 30-point candles. Anything past 30 points, is abnormal, right? Like this candle over here was abnormal because it's way out of the ATR range. If this candle closes around the 30-point range, then that's normal. But if it closes out of it, it's a bit abnormal. Unless they consistently push that way. Christian said trade manager is letting his employee work while he continues to sleep. I know Cody's knocked out right now. I don't know if you hear him snoring. This guy's snoring super loud. All right, so we don't have any setups here right now. Price is above this range consolidation zone, which is a good thing. We want price to be above it. However, we do want to see a retracement here. So I need to see some sort of retracement and continuation to the upside, right? That's what I'd like to see here. I think that's going to be the thing. I think once this 30-minute candle closes, it's going to come down a little bit. So we're going to have price kind of push up, retrace, and then come right back up. That's kind of what I expect here because we need to come back to this value high. So we got 5 minutes here until this candle closes. It's nothing to take here anyway, so sitting back a little bit for now. This is a break and retest off this liquidity zone right here. So what I would look for here is I would look for a rejection, but I look for a rejection off like a reversal pattern. So I look for a V1 or an engulfing or something like that. But this is a break and retest off that zone. See, like this one over here actually would have been good. Now that I'm looking back at this, I probably should have taken this entry here for the A++. But the problem with this trade is that it was right at news, so I wouldn't have wanted to have taken it. But I'm looking over here at the setup now. I'm like, yeah, this was actually a really good entry, right? Because price broke above, came back down, pushed right above here with the A++ setup. There was also a V1 and engulfing right there. Only problem is this was the news candle right here, so like it was right after news. That's why I wouldn't have wanted to take it. But you guys can see here. So I've been kind of showing you guys this confluence. You know, if you guys have the indicators, there's this tool here. It's called K2 liquidity. This will give you liquidity zones. For the most part, I mark up these liquidity price points using the high-low indicator, but I use liquidity zones here, and I usually set it to the 5-minute or chart. This is actually chart. Let me set it to the 5-minute. The 5 minutes is more useful. So the 5-minute over here. You can see how there's a little zone right there at that point. So I use both just to kind of see where it's at. But yeah, if you get a rejection off this liquidity zone right here and it's a V1 or engulfing, it's probably going to push up. No, it's probably going to push up from there. It's just another confluence if anybody's looking to use it. I don't catch the bounces off it, but I do look at the confluence. Like just confluences. I don't necessarily just catch price come down and have like a pending order right there. You guys can have that if you wanted, but for me personally, I don't take trades like that. It does work though. That's the whole reason I created this indicator for the confluence. So the reason why I created this liquidity indicator is because I was looking for V1 variation balances off this specific zone. So I was looking for price push up, come down, V1 variation, push back up higher, and then I'll take the entry. If you guys remember during the winter season, this was the type of strategy that I was looking at, right? I was looking at V1 variations off structure. So I was looking for V1s off of the pivots, looking V1 variations off SRs, off the whole numbers, off the levels, stuff like that. So all this stuff kind of goes hand in hand with what I was doing before. However, now I just have it as an extra confluence for other entry types. All right, we got nothing here right now, guys. We got the 7 o'clock candle closing in about 3 minutes, 2 minutes actually. Once that closes, I'll be looking for possible opportunity here. There's no rejections off the 1-minute profile. There's no rejections off the 30-minute market profile. I mean, there's a rejection down here, but this happened a long time ago. Looking over here at the 1 hour, same thing. The rejection down here, but this happened a long time ago. Nothing over here on the volume profile. Nothing over here on the clean chart. Nothing here on the SR chart. Not really much here to work with right now with regard to confluences. So what I'm mainly looking for here is I'm looking for a sell signal to come up. Once the sell signal comes up, I'm gonna look for that retracement and then look for either the reversal to the downside, or I'm gonna look for the retracement and continuation back up. Which is nothing here right now. So it's gotta give it some time. We have an engulfing candle right here, the opposite direction, but there's no sell signal, so the sellers have not taken control yet. Again, like I said, we're looking for that sell signal here to close. We got a minute till the 30-minute and 1 hour candle closes for the 7 o'clock, and we'll kind of go from there. The one thing that I've been kind of looking at too, not necessarily like looking for specifically, but I'm looking for like, the accumulation, the manipulation, and the distribution. It looks like over here, that's kind of what happened. We had the accumulation that happened over here, manipulation to the downside, and distribution to the upside right here. So a lot of different confluences I'm looking at. Obviously, I don't trade that way, but I'm just using it as a confluence to kind of determine which direction price is going to go. Because once we have the direction of price, the MPS V2s become very, very easy to follow. So for example, right here, if we follow that analysis of the AMD accumulation, manipulation, distribution, if you look at this over here, we have accumulation come up right here. Price came down, and once it shifted up, this could have given us a heads up that, okay, all the buys for MPS V2s would be solid. And that's pretty much what happened there. All the buys did play out, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. All right, so this is the 7 o'clock candle. Let's go take a look at our confluences now. Looking for a sell signal here to come up. So looking over here at our confluences, our market profile has a long way to go before it reaches value high, right? So this is kind of what I'm expecting. If price does retrace back, it's probably gonna come back and retest this value high. Looking over here on the 30-minute, same thing, we need price to push down to this value high in order for us to have some sort of rejection, right? So I'm looking for price to come down here and bounce right off it. Same with the 30-minute. Looking for the rejection right there off the value high. Looking over here at the volume profile. Looking right here at the clean chart, price is currently at the whole number, which is 42,800. It's coming back down further, like I mentioned. And there's nothing over here on the SR chart. So we've got a sell signal right here. Let me see, this is going to be at 42,750. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna draw a line over here. So I have an idea where price is gonna come down to. Okay, so this is an MPS V2 starting setup right here, guys. I don't like the price action on this candle. You can see the volatility is extremely low. So price does come down. This is where I'm looking for it to reach, this black line right here. Yeah, I think for me personally, I would probably avoid sells. I mean, if you guys want to take it, this is an MPS V2 setting up. I probably would avoid the sells because I'm looking for price to come down to this area and I'm looking for it to bounce off it. So this might be a little too close or a little too tight. I also don't like how these candles here are closing. See how they're really small? These candles over here are perfectly big. And the volatility here is now pretty flat. I think this is a temporary thing. I think this is just going to be for now. And eventually price is going to pick back up with regard to volatility. There's no other news events for today, so nothing to really look at with regard to that. Looking over here at the live updates for the day so far. So 5 minutes ago, said services activity perks up, manufacturing lags, S&P flash readings show. Nothing too great there. Okay, so there's an MPSV2 that's setting up right here. Like I said earlier, guys, this is going to be tricky because I'm looking for the bounce back to the upside. So I think I'd probably leave this alone. If you guys want to take this here as an MPSV2, I think it's going to get too close to this black line right here, which is where I'm expecting to bounce. So this candle is about to close. If it closes below this box here, this is going to be an MPSV2 for a sell. For me personally, I would prefer to look for a buy. So I'm not really looking to take this here for a sell because I'm looking for that bounce. I just want that retracement to happen. And then once the retracement happens, I'll be looking for the continuation back to the upside. No rejections here yet. So we don't really have confluences at this time. Clean chart right there. I'm gonna take this off. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. Not really inclined to take any sells here. If you look over here, so the reason why I'm looking for buys as well is because the overall trend bias is bullish, right? The 4 hour is currently bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 1 minute's bullish. Everything's bullish, right? Price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling to the upside. Everything here looks good for a buy. So for the most part, I personally would be looking for buy opportunities here. But like I said, I'm looking for price here to come down and test this area first before I look for that bounce back to the upside. If price doesn't come back down that far, I'll look for the confluences, but look at this price action here, guys. Nothing's going on. Price is just going back and forth, back and forth. So just clean my cards here and looking for my opportunity for entry. But again, like I said, the area where I'm looking for the bounce is going to be down here. It doesn't actually have to go this far, but it needs to like pretty much get close to this area and then push back up. That way I'll get a big wick right here. So see this big green candle? Looking for it to come down and then shoot right back up. I want to get a nice wick rejection off the bottom end. Same with this right here on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour is actually already at the value high. So I'm starting to get that rejection here already on the 1 hour, right? I want this to come down to this value high area and then push back up so that we get a big wick right here. Same with this wick rejection down here, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see this wick rejection, but I want to see it off this specific value high. So the 1 hour is fine. 1 hour is already at the target area. The 30-minute is not there yet. So like I said, price might come down further, bounce off there and come back up. This red line right here is at the 750 price point. Looks like the price action here kind of died out a bit. We got the sellers pushing down from up here. The volume is really low. So if you look at the ATR down below, guys, the ATR is now at 23 ATR. ATR earlier was at 30. Volume is now pretty flat. So this might be a little tricky to go for a 30-point move, guys. I might have to go for the 20-point move if the volatility stays this low. Typically, we're going for a 30-30, but we might have to adjust it to a 20 because of the low volatility right now. All right. So we're going to push back up right here. So we're getting that big wick that I just told you guys about right there. Look at the 1 hour now. Perfect. That's exactly what I was waiting for. See that huge push to the upside? Now I'm gonna look for some possible buys here. Nice wick rejection right there off the 1 hour. Nice wick right there. There's no rejection, but there's a nice wick right there on the 30-minute. 1 minute's cool. Nothing on the volume profile. 1 minute chart over here. I'm gonna look for price to come down, bounce off this whole number and push back up. This whole number right here is at the 800 price point. Yeah, so possible bounce off here and push back up higher. Nothing right here on the SR chart. Buy signal hasn't closed yet. We got another pending buy signal right here. All right, so we got a break and retest right here off the zone. Not enough volatility, not enough strength right here though. So this is pretty much a consolidation zone right here. All right, there's not too much going on. This thing's pretty flat. Brock said he's with the buy team as well. Yeah, definitely Brock. Volatility here is just not, it's not there right now. You guys can see from these previous candles. So if you look back from like basically this area up until here, basically ever since like the 7 hour candle close to the 7 o'clock candle close right here, there hasn't been very much volatility. It's kind of been flat this whole time. This is okay because if this is the case, the volatility is going to pick up eventually. It's not going to stay flat the entire session. So eventually the volatility here is going to pick up. I'm actually glad that the market here is kind of flat because I don't want to be trading in a flat market anyways. So eventually I'm going to be waiting for this here to kind of pick up a little bit. There we go, the buy signal currently pending. We got 30 seconds left. Make a nice big wick right here on the 30-minute time frame. Nice wick projection right here off the value high. Nothing off the volume profile. Nothing here yet quite for the so if you look over here on the clean chart, there's actually a really big range that's kind of like came up right here. All right, we got the buy signal pending right here. So we've had a couple buy signals here pending. It's been pending since this one right here. Buy signal came up, disappeared, buy signal came up, disappeared, came up, disappeared, etc. Another one right here. But price is pretty much respecting this little range. Not even range, a consolidation zone right here. All right, not too much going on. So you can kind of see the range here a little better on the clean chart. It's not as tight. You can see where price is kind of just, I mean, it's actually been ranging for a while now. I didn't realize, I saw that it was ranging right here, but now that I've kind of pushed it out a little bit on the clean chart, it's actually been ranging for a while right now. So what I would look for here, guys, is I would look for the manipulated push one way and then look for price to distribute the other way. Just nothing going on here right now. All right, we got another pending buy signal right here. Again, I'm gonna take a look at my confluences. Same things from earlier. I don't really see much. We have a rejection right here off the whole number though, so that's a good sign. Rejection right here after 42,800. Pending buy signal. We'll see if the buy signal actually closes. ATR is currently at 24 ATR. All right, we got price kind of coming back down a little bit, so just gotta wait, guys. Just be patient. There's no need to force anything here right now. I mean, there's nothing to take here anyways. Even if you wanted to squeeze something in, there's like really nothing to take here. The volatility is very low. Price isn't breaking out of this kind of messed up range over here. Looking at the clean chart, this range is a little more well put together. I mean, there's nothing here really to work with. Let me see if I can kind of clean this range up a little bit. Let's see, Broxit is a 4-hour supply over there. I think it's rushing in it. I think there's momentum signal we're in need of. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm waiting for right there too, Brock. I mean, this momentum signal has been pending for the past, we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically the last 10 minutes. This momentum signal has been trying to get out of this area. It's been trying to close, but it hasn't been able to close yet. So we did get a break and retest right here off this liquidity zone. It's a 1-minute level. I don't see any 5-minute levels here. So it looks like the buyers might be back in control from this point. Possibly. See, Sam's we got 100-point break and retest on NQ. Nice. Solid work, Sam. NQ's probably moving a little more volatile than well, I mean it always is, but probably a little more volatile than why I'm right now at least. All right, we got the buy signal again pending right here. This buy signal has been pending for a long time now, guys. The confluences are looking pretty decent though, 1-hour rejection right there. Nothing on the volume profile. Price break and retest off the upper range right here on the clean chart. But again, no sell signal or buy signal actually. All right, so this buy signal has been trying to close for the past 10 minutes now, more than 10 minutes actually. See if it actually stays above this area or if it pulls back into the range. Yeah, Ark said no volume. I'm done for the day. You're right. Keep nothing going on. Take my profits. Yeah, no, that's fine. All right. I mean, you should be. I think you sent your profits in, didn't you? Or you sent me a message earlier. Um, so I'm not sure where that price point is. Ark, you let's see. This wouldn't be a session. The session's gonna be like this purple line right here. So I'm looking over here at your chart. The session would be this purple line right here. Or I don't know if you drew this, but if this is a session indicator, then it'd be this one right here. The session is going to be on the chart already. You're not going to draw them on there. It's going to be the like it'll be on the chart already. So no, that wouldn't be a session right there at the upper end. So looking over here at my chart, you can see this purple dotted line right here. This is the Asia high. That's why it's called the session high, because it's the high or the low of the session. So if you look down here, we have a purple line. This is the Asia low. This green line right here is the Asia high, or the New York high. This red line right here is the London high. And the rest of the sessions are down here. So they're on the chart already marked up for you if you have the indicator turned on. I think that was the Asia high for you for that markup that you drew. I'll message you here too. I just typed it up right there. All right, if you didn't hear me. All right, so we still don't have a buy signal here, guys. The buy signal has been pending for about, maybe 15 minutes now. It's been trying to come up since down here. So I guess we will continue to see what's next. Nothing here on the market profile for the 1 minute. Nothing for the market profile on the 30 minute. We do have the rejection right here off the value high on the 1 hour. So the buys here are still looking good. The thing is, the next candle is going to close soon. So this 30-minute candle is going to close pretty soon. And I think once this 30-minute candle closes in the next 10 minutes, price might come back down further and attempt to retest the value high. We'll see. I mean, it wouldn't matter. There's nothing here for us to take anyways. Yeah, Christian said this is what he's looking for. So he's looking for price to kind of break above the range there. But then again, he would need the buy signal, which is what I'm looking for too. So I'm looking for that buy signal to come up and basically retest this area right here, right? Break, retest, come back up higher. So we'll see. I mean, your analysis lines up with mine, Christian. So we're kind of looking for the same thing here. Once the buy signal actually closes, looks like we might get it on this candle here finally. We got 8 seconds left on this candle. Main confluence here would be the 1 hour. Clean chart right here to break and retest of that area. Okay, so we have the buy signal here. The ATR is really low now, guys. It's at like 1920 ATR. So you might want to go for 20 points if you're looking to take something here. A rejection off this whole number right here, which is the 42,850. No zones up here. We have a zone right there. All right, so where the volatility is definitely starting to pick up here, as you guys can see. All right, so Barack said you might take that as a momentum scalp. There's a momentum scalp that came up right here. I mean, depending if you guys wanted to take it, the buy signal, of course, price was above the pivots, trend meter was green, pivots were angling up. This was a momentum scalp entry. If anybody decided to take that there, you don't have to take that, but I think Barack might have taken that there. Nice, and Barack actually caught that for 20 points. Solid. Yeah, the volatility is a little low, guys, so I think 20 points might be that might be the target for today. Obviously, I'd like to go for the 30, but the volatility here is pretty flat. So we need to get a red candle here. Once we get the red candle, we could look for a possible opportunity for an NPSV2. This right here is a doji, so I'm not counting that as a red candle. I would need to have an actual red candle there for me to look at. Yeah, the volatility here is pretty flat, guys. Not too much here. Price pushes up, and then it looks like it might just create another range here again. It's kind of like staircasing. So it looks like right here it kind of came up a little bit, consolidated, came back up a little bit, back into consolidation right here. And here we go, if price pushes back up. So we got a nice rejection right here off the pivot. So if the next candle closes green, this is going to set up for an MPSV2. Like I was saying, guys, you might have to go for a 20. I think the 30 might be a little too far out. All right, so depending on how this candle closes, I don't want it to be a weak green candle. It's gonna have to close pretty like, it's gonna have to close like up here. If it doesn't close up here, I'm not gonna bother taking this as an MPSV2, even if it's green. This candle's a little too weak. I don't want it to close as a doji at the last second. This candle has about 15 seconds left on it. I would need this candle to close somewhere above this area up here, green, for me to want to take it. So I did not close green there, or I did. So this is technically an MPSV2. I'm not going to take it, guys. You guys can see here, this thing was a weak green candle. It closed green at the very, very last second. So not in this position here, of course. Just playing it safe today for the most part. Again, if you guys want to take this entry, this is the MPSV2. It's currently running right now. I probably would only go for 2020 on this. Because ATR is so low. So there goes the MPSV2 currently running. Yeah, the ATR is way too low right now, guys. I don't really like the volatility. It's probably gonna hit, but I mean, this candle here closed green at like literally the last second, so I wouldn't have been able to catch that anyways. Yeah, it looks like it's about to hit. See, Brock got in a little late. Nice, Brock. I'm gonna hold off on it. It's an engulfing candle right there too. I'll watch it with you guys. This is probably gonna hit, but I mean, the engulfing right here was like another nice touch to it. So the MPSV2 has been running since this candle right here. This candle was engulfing. Usually if it's a green engulfing a green, it's looks like a good sign. Yeah, the price action here is actually really good. Like Brock said, it said it looks good, man. I know, I agree. I think this is gonna hit for sure. I just want to get in right now because I'm not gonna take it for like 7 points. It's too small of a move for me. Yeah, it's about to hit right there. If it came back to retest the opening price, I would have gotten in, but yeah, the risk is just too high for me to take. So it looks like it's about to hit right there, Brock. 20 points. Fine, so another push, little push to the upside right there. It's a little bit further. Yeah, if it was like down here, I would have entered late because that would give me like maybe 15 points, but this over here is just it's too close. Like if I got in, I probably would have gotten for some slippage and I probably would have got in for, under 10 points. It just wouldn't meet my risk because my stop loss would have been a little farther out. And this volatility is not, it's just not there. 19 ATR right now. 18 ATR. See, if the ATR was like at 20, 30, 35, 40, then this thing would have just spiked up. Like it would have hit like in one candle. But because the volatility is so low, you're kind of getting like this sideways, the sideways back and forth movement. I'm not in this position right here, guys. I just marked it up to follow, but I had a feeling something like this was going to happen because the volatility is too low. I'm gonna take this off just for now because I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. For anyone who's looking to get in, or I wouldn't get in this late, so it's already too late for entry. All right, we got the 30-minute candle closing right here. So here's the good thing, the value high moved up a little higher. So we got some nice rejections here. Rejection right there. Rejection right there. So 30-minute rejection off the value high, 1 hour rejection off the value high. I mean, price is kind of just sitting flat. So here on the clean chart, you can see that price is, I mean, it's not really doing too much. We got a pending, well, we have sell signal I just closed right there, invalid. Followed by an engulfing V1. See, CJ said, I blame Elon Musk. Everyone is selling their Tesla shares and blowing up Tesla. Yeah, the stuff going on with Tesla is kind of crazy, right? I've seen so many videos happen lately with like people keying Teslas and blowing Teslas up or lighting them on fire. It's nuts. Makes me kind of glad I'm not driving a Tesla. It's like kind of random. Well, it's not random. People hate Elon, of course. Like people are doing it because of Elon, but yeah, that's crazy. All right, guys. So there's no entries here right now. I'm gonna take this off. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in the position. This right here there's an MPS V2 that's set up right here, but this candle didn't close until like the very last second. So this candle didn't close until the last second. So it just didn't look like a good setup for me. But it wasn't a setup at all. Like this candle was down here, and then at the last 5 seconds, price card started to kind of push around a little bit, and then it closed green at the very, very last second. Let's see, Sam said full TP on both break and retest. 20 is what's working right now. Yeah, I agree, Sam. I think 20 is kind of like the ATR is even lower right now. So if you look at the ATR, it's now at 17. So 20 might even be a stretch, which is crazy, right? These are like summer market conditions, guys. The ATR right now is typically what it is around summer. During summer, I usually go for like 10 points. I was hoping it would be a little more volatile because, obviously with stuff like with Trump, I mean, the tariff news is supposed to come out pretty soon. There was updates with the tariff news actually, like pretty much all morning. Basically, Trump's tariffs are more directed now. Let's see, tax revenue collected by IRS set to plummet. Yeah, it's dropping more than 10% by April, which is when taxes are due. Um, yeah, the amount lost federal revenue could top 500 billion with a B. It's nuts. Thousands are expected to lose their jobs at the agency, part of Elon Musk's Doge spending reductions. That's gonna be nuts. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see because taxes are due next month, guys. Most of you guys know. Um, Business taxes are already due, so I did my business taxes, but my personal taxes are not due until next month. I'm trying to figure out how I wanted to structure my taxes for this year. And it's gonna be interesting. Once the numbers come out next month, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see like what's gonna happen. I mean, Trump is trying to get rid of the IRS, so we'll I guess we'll kind of see how that how that pans out. Yeah, CJ said his cousin's Tesla got vandalized while he was at the gym. Yeah, it's not a good time to be a Tesla owner. It's funny because you guys have probably seen those stickers on people's car. People have started putting stickers on their Tesla where it says, "I got this car before Elon went crazy" or something like that. So there's a possible sell entry for an MPSV2 guys, but there's no confluences here for me. If you guys want to take this for a sell, I'll mark it up for you guys, but there is there's no confluences here for me to take the sell. If you guys want to take it, I've marked it up for you guys right there. It's probably pushing back into the range. I mean, it's already in the range, but it's pushing back deeper into the range. There's just no confluences from the upside. So looking over here at market profile on the 1 minute, there's no upward projection. Looking over here on the 30 minute, I don't have any rejections right here on the top side either. Looking at the 1 hour, I don't have any rejections here off the top side. Looking over here at the volume profile, no rejections off the top side. Clean chart, I have no rejections right here off the top side. So I just don't have any confluences here for me to want to take the sell, right? Possible rejection right here off the clean chart, but it's not really a clean rejection right there. And then nothing here off the SR. So, like I said, I take these entries based off my confluences. Because there's no confluences here, there's just no reason for me to take a specific entry at that point. So nothing for me to take here. And the volatility here is kind of choppy. So if you guys look at how everything's kind of moving around, the the ATR is currently at 18. So the average of each candle should be like this big. Anything outside of this is an abnormal candle, right? This green candle right here, abnormal. This red candle right here, abnormal. This red candle, okay. This green candle, kind of okay. This one kind of okay, but they're like pretty abnormal. Like if you look over here, these are like abnormal candles. This is an abnormal candle. These are normal ones. These smaller ones that's where they should be. Because the ATR is currently at 1819. So you guys can see there's not very much consistency in the market right now. Price is kind of just going back and forth a lot. There's nothing here to take. I have no confluences, so not really looking to take anything here anyways. I'm just kind of waiting here for the market here to kind of, give me what I'm looking for. This looks like a replay of last week. So if you guys remember last week, we didn't really take many entries. I took one entry on Monday. If you guys remember, that entry unfortunately was like, it was a messed up entry. It wasn't a good one. Because depending on which contract you were, if you were on the March contract, it would have been perfectly fine. If you were on the June contract, we had a spike on that one. So that over there didn't really play I would have wanted to. We have a buy signal here currently pending. The volatility here is starting to pick back up. I think I'd like the ATR to be above 20. If the ATR is above 20, then feel a little more comfortable with taking entries here. Because I don't want to be stuck in this chop, of course, right? Nothing right here on the 1 minute market profile. I was hoping this would push down a little further to bounce off this value high. But if it doesn't, it's fine. Because we still have the rejection here off the 1 hour. So there's more confluences here for buy versus sell, of course. Clean chart over here, I'd like to see this kind of push down, bounce off the whole number and push back up. So I'd like to see a rejection right here off the 850. It's doing that right now as we speak. So this candle's coming back down kind of sharp. Like to bounce off that right there. We have a buy signal here too. So I'd like to see a bounce right there off the 850 price point. And then push back up. So what I'm looking for here is MPSV2 for a buy right here. If this ends up closing below, that's fine. I'll look for the next candle here to kind of, ideally I just want to bounce off this right here. So either it bounces off this specific candle, which it did. So we do have the confluence right there. Now I just need to get a strong green candle right here. So I need to get a green candle to close above this black line. If this closes above the black line with the green candle, I'll be looking to take this for a possible MPSV2. The ATR here is just not really where I want it to be though. It's not looking like we're gonna get that set up, guys. ATR is still currently at 1819. It's not past 20 yet. Nothing on the 30. 1 hour's looking good. Nothing there. All right, no setup. Man, this market sucks today, but it's okay. Today's Monday. We have a whole week ahead of us, guys. There's no need to force any trades here, as you guys can see. I mean, price has been consolidating within this area for some time now. It's not been doing anything. Dude, Cody's been knocked out all day. I swear Cody knows. He knows when the market's whack, because this guy who would get up if it wasn't. It's knocked out right now. It's like on his thumb. He's watching now, making sure we're doing stuff right. So, yeah, guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. See, you said, what does the time and sale say? You see. I mean, there hasn't been any big orders come in. I mean, I'm looking at this so far. The biggest orders that came in today for the time and sales, let's see. The most recent one was 16 contracts at 42,836. 42,836. Where's that? Right here. So this came in at 731. Okay. Yeah, so price kind of pushed up from this point. Or there's like buy overs that are trying to get in right here at this whole number. I mean, that's everything else is like small contracts. But that looks like where the balance would have happened from. Let's take a look at liquidity. I mean, there's a sell liquidity right there. Check out the 5-minute. Nothing. So this momentum signal is still valid, guys. I mean, there's still opportunity here for price to come back up, but it's not very much volatility in the market. So looking at this so far, guys, I mean, there was entries that came up this morning. If you guys are just joining or if you guys have been here for a while, the breakout over here hit full TP this morning. So it was like a straight push to TP. The first candle right here pushed down to full TP for the breakout for 50 points for a 1-to-1. Then for today, we had two entries that came up. There was an NPSV2 that came up right here. This was like right when news was happening. So didn't take the trade there. And then also right here, there was an A++ setup that happened right after news. That was the reason why we decided not to take it because it was too close to news. That was pretty much it. After that, there was nothing else that really came up here so far. There's another sell signal that came up. So this buy signal is no longer in control. We have the sellers back in control or trying to be in control here. Let's take a look at the confluences. No confluences here from the upside. No confluences here on the 30-minute. No confluences here on the 1 hour. Nothing on the volume profile. Nothing on the clean chart. We don't have any upward rejection right here. And nothing on the support resistance. So if you look over here at the SR chart, there's nothing here either. All right, so looking over here at the support resistance chart, there's like literally nothing going on. You guys can see here, price is kind of just dabbling between this middle area. The consolidation is really just happening around this right here. So we had the consolidation right here. Earlier, price pushed up, now it's consolidating right here. There's no direction, no movement for the day so far. I mean, it is what it is. It's just the type of market that we're currently in right now. If you guys want to take an MPSV2 for a sell, you can possibly look for this to drop lower, but you can see over here price isn't really pushing it in a direction. It's kind of just going back and forth. So it's going back and forth right here. I know this chart's a little messy, but I mean, I guess technically we could just not even mark up these right here because price has been kind of just pushed up and it came down and it's going back and forth. It's a little more obvious right here on the clean chart. And on the, so let me see, I'll just draw one zone here instead of two zones. I'm just gonna clean this up so you guys can see things a little better. All right, so you can see from here, this is kind of what's been happening. This is the range that's kind of been running for the past, I don't know, for the basically the whole session. Price pushed up right here on 640, and then it got caught into this range, and it's been up here since 650, so about like an hour now. For an hour, price has kind of just been stuck within this area. We had the bullish push right here initially, and then now it's kind of just been right here down the middle. Sam said the Kodi indicator. Sam said maybe a buyer's trap. Looks like market needs sell side liquidity as manipulation and expansion upwards. Yeah, I agree with you too. So like looking at this right now, this is kind of like accumulation, right? So if you guys follow the AMD type theory, like this is accumulation right here. Price has been accumulating within this area so far. Right, it's indicating that buyers are gonna like they're trying to push price up. So if you look over here, it's accumulating, but it's accumulating to the upside. Right, so like what Sam is mentioning here is it's a buyer's trap possibly, where it's looking to trap some buyers here, comes down, manipulates, and then comes right back up. So I agree with your analysis right there, Sam. The only problem here is that we only have about 15 minutes till 8 o'clock, right? So I'm not expecting all this to happen right now. This might happen like closer to like mid-session. So if you guys do continue to trade, possibly look for that. It doesn't have to be a buyer's trap or a seller's trap. This can be accumulation to whichever direction. What I would say is look for the fake out. So looking at this so far, see how there's like nothing going on within this area, guys? What I would recommend is look for the fake out. So like once price breaks out of this area, look for the fake out. Basically look for the head and shoulders. That's what you want to look for. So you want to look for head and shoulders to come up. This could be the head and shoulders to the upside, or it can be head and shoulders to the opposite, inverse, right? It could be inverted. Right? That's kind of what you want to look for here. So if you're looking for the bigger move, I mean, that's kind of what I would expect. I think that the key thing here, like whenever you have a strong consolidation like this is why I like using multiple charts, because the multiple charts kind of gives you the idea of like what's going to happen next, right? So yeah, look for the expansion or look for the manipulation first and then look for the expansion the other way. We have a buy signal that just closed right here. Possible MPSV2 setting up here for a buy. Let's see, we got some confluences here. 1 minute rejection right there off the value high. Not necessarily rejection there off the 30-minute, but close. Rejection right here off the 1 hour. No rejection off the clean chart. Possible bounce here off the 1 minute support level. So we do have some confluences here possibly. The only thing here that, again, I'm looking kind of, that I'm like a little worried about is really the volatility. Because the last thing you want to do is get into an MPS and then it just goes sideways, right? The volatility here is very low. So even if your TP is at 20 points, you might get like price, it might fill. So this might retrace, go up, fill, and then it might just go sideways. Let's see, Sam said, I will buy if you buy. My buy level got hit 3 minutes ago as a liquidity sweep. Yeah, I can probably come back and retest that area up there, Sam. Possibly, let's see. I don't want to see what the target would be. Gotcha, the 44 candle. Oh, gotcha, this one right here, right? This is where your sweep happened. I'm still waiting for a red candle here to close. I mean, it looks like the volatility is starting to pick up a little more. Trying to see if I have it in head and shoulders setting up anymore. This candle is a doji, so I can't count that as a red one. I really hate how these candles come up like this. You know, these little dojis, because you can't really use them. They're kind of like they're they're a sense of like an irrelevant candle for the most part. Yeah, Sam said ATR low, so please take if you really want. I'm green, so I can wait till tomorrow. I can wait too. So, I mean, we'll see, guys. We're gonna keep looking at the price action here. If there's no movement and the volatility stays pretty low, I'm probably not gonna take it, to be honest, guys. There's no need for me to force anything here. The last thing I want to do is start this week off bad, right? I don't want to start off this week off bad. So we'll see how these candles here close. I mean, the volatility is picking up a little bit, but it isn't very consistent. Yeah, this was a breakout V3 continuation right here. So a lot of you guys still take that entry. CJ just mentioned it. So this right here was a buy signal followed by a green candle. That was a breakout V3 continuation for a buy. There's also been a couple here too. So there was a sell signal here with the red. So this is a breakout V3 continuation for a sell right there. So if you guys go back and take a look, I mean, there's a lot of the old strategies that are still working. Well, they're not really old strategies, they're just strategies that I don't necessarily apply as much because I try to focus on one or two strategies at a time. So if you guys want to apply those, I mean, they're still working here. And it is currently running, so you can use that as a confluence. Breakout V3 continuation currently running in profit. There's a lot of confluences here for a buy. So we had that right there for the buy. We had the engulfing candle right here. We still don't have that red candle, so there's nothing for me to take here at the moment. So the volatility, so here's the weird thing. The candles are moving, but the volatility is not actually getting any higher. It's actually getting smaller. We're currently at 16 ATR right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on entries for today, guys. I don't really want to be caught up in low ATR. The problem with this here is that I was still gonna try to reach for the 30, but I think that 30 is gonna be really hard to hit. Or the thing is, I'm probably gonna have to hold on to it for a while. I don't want to hold on to this for more than like, 2 minutes or so. I'd rather just have it hit TP right away. So if you guys want to take this right here, I'm gonna follow it as an NPS V2. We need this to close red. So we just closed red right there. If this candle closes green, this is gonna be an NPS V2. The only problem here, again, that I keep mentioning is I don't like the price action, right? Look at these candles right here. These are like, I heard someone call them strawman candles. They're kind of like, they're weak candles. right? There's no power behind them. There's no body. The bodies are really small. So if you guys want to take an MPSV2, I can mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it here. We have a pending sell signal here. So if the sell signal closes, there's not going to be any buys. It is, yeah, I'm gonna go with you on this one, Sam. I don't think it's worth the risk, honestly. You're green for the day. You might as well just take those greens and run, come back tomorrow fresh. I feel like we're kind of well, we kind of been waiting for the same thing this whole day. So like there's nothing here to really like I don't feel excited to take the entry. Normally I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait for this entry to come up, I'm gonna take it. But like right now, I just feel like the price action with these candles are not so great, where I just feel more worried than excited to take the entry. So if you guys want to take this entry right here, if this candle closes green, this is going to be an MPSV2. If it doesn't, then you have to wait for it to close green. If it closes red, there's no more buy opportunities here. It's going to switch to a sell opportunity. Exactly. Yeah. So Samuel here just mentioned, he said, I agree. The amount of stress waiting for 30 points is not worth it. Yeah, it really isn't, guys. Especially when the market is not very consistent, right? Like this here, is price is going back and forth. This is another consolidation zone. If you guys want to take this here, this candle is closing in about 5 seconds. This is going to be an MPSB2 for a buy. I'm not going to take it. I'll mark it up for you guys, but not going to be taking it here. So entry is now active. Like you guys see how far the target is from here? I don't really want to mess with this because the ATR is so low. It's currently at 15. So you're probably gonna have to wait at least 5 or 10 minutes for it to hit. It's not gonna hit on the first move. So here goes the first candle right here. Again, I'm just following it for you guys, but I am not in this position. If you guys are just joining us, we had a couple entries that came up today. So there's like 2 good entries that came up today. There was this one right here, which was an MPSV2. It happened shortly before news, so we didn't take that. And then there was an A++ setup that came up over here that also hit full TP, but it was right after news. It was a candle following news for high impact. Also, we had the breakout that hit TP here, but that was like a smooth push, just like one quick entry. I don't take the breakout anymore, so I didn't take that one, but there's only 2 solid setups that came up today. After these 2 setups came up, we went into a heavy consolidation. So you can see price, here, I'll just go back a little bit. Market opened right here at 630. We had a big drop to the downside for manipulation. Price came back up for distribution, came up, and then after that, it went back into consolidation for the past basically hour and a half. So not in this position right here. Again, like I said, this is the main reason why I decided not to take this here. I mean, not to say this isn't going to hit. I think this will probably still hit, but you're probably going to be stuck and trapped in this position going back and forth for like a good 5-10 minutes before it actually goes in a direction. So I'm going to take that off so that you guys don't think that I'm in the position. And it is, I mean, like I said, this is not worth it, guys. So if I drew another zone here, you guys can see technically this thing's been ranging again. So it didn't really do much. We went into this range consolidation, price pushed up, another ranging consolidation right here. I'm hoping tomorrow or sometime this week, Trump will do something to cause, the volatility in the market to kind of pick up a little bit. Seems like the market's been pretty flat for the past week or so, except for Friday. Friday was a good day, but everything else has been pretty flat. Tomorrow we have new home sales month over month and new home sales for February. Wednesday, we have durable good orders month over month, durable good orders, ex transportation month over month, and defense month over month. On Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, GDP growth rate, good trades balance. And then Friday, we have personal income, PCE price index, personal spending, PCE price index month over month, price index month over month, price index year over year. So we have a lot of this economic news coming out over here this week. It's nothing crazy. This is the week before NFP. So NFP is going to be the crazy week, of course, right? I think this week is going to be kind of slow for the most part. We might have some push around if Trump speaks. Let me check Forex Factory. They usually. Okay, so Trump's actually speaking today. I think this is why the market's kind of slow. So, this usually happens. Um, so Trump is due to hold a press conference with the governor of Louisiana at the White House. So we got Trump speaking today. That kind of explains why the market here is kind of flat. I think people are just waiting for Trump to speak. And then once he speaks, obviously something's going to happen. People are going to react to it. And I think that's about it. We got the Fed speaking pretty much every day this week. But yeah, we have Trump speaking later today. There's no specific time when he's going to speak, but he is going to be speaking um, later today. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock right now. There's nothing for us to take here at the moment. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. But today's just one of those days where there's not much here to take. I didn't take anything today, so it's a flat day for me, which is okay. I'd rather have a flat day than have a losing day. And that's about it. I mean, there's not really too much here to look at. I think, this is probably a good time to wrap it up. If you guys want to continue trading, I'd probably say come back in another hour or two. I think the volatility will pick back up closer to 9 o'clock. Trump will probably be speaking. I'm not really sure, honestly. Yeah. So there's nothing here specifically kind of noting when he's going to speak, but I mean, Trump is going to speak sometime today. Whether he speaks midday or whether he speaks in the afternoon, he's going to speak later today. Probably midday. So the volatility will probably stay flat here up until maybe like 9 or 10 o'clock, and then the volatility may pick back up. Let's see, CJ said, okay, I'm glad we have an explanation as to why the market is moving like this. Yeah, I agree. There's not much here to really work with. I mean, there's price going back and forth. Let's check out NQ real quick. I mean, NQ is doing the same thing. So if you look over here, I mean, NQ is moving a little more, but it's still doing the same thing. It's still going sideways. So it's not just YM by itself. Let's check ES real quick. It's more obvious right here on YM. It's been bouncing back and forth a little more obviously. Same with ES, right? There's really nothing going on here in the market. So if you look over here on ES, consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. So the market overall is it's just a dump right now. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. There's nothing here to really look at. Let's see, we got some team profits for the day. Let's see, we got Arik here. He locked in a total profit. Let's see, 700 on his first account, 615 on the second, 815 on the third, and 830 on the fourth. Arik has been applying the micro scalp strategy. That's all he's doing. So Arik over here took the micro scalp entries right here on open, took those profits, ran with it, and now he's done for the day. So if you guys want to continue to use that micro scalp strategy, like I said, the strategy works very, very well. You just have to be applying not too many accounts. Like for me, I'm trading 60 accounts, so it's not going to work for me. For Arik over here, he's only trading 4 accounts, so it's working perfect for him. He's killed it. For today, he's made this much profit for the micro scalp. On Friday, he made this much profit on the micro scalp. Arik's been pretty much on fire with those micro scalps. This is him on Thursday. He's doing pretty good. So if you guys want to revisit that strategy still works. I mean, it's not that it doesn't work. It's just that I can't apply it with my crazy amount of accounts. Sam said it won't affect the consistency rule, so it will. So for me, if there's slippage, it's going to affect the consistency rule. So like what happened with me is I couldn't get a payout, I think, in January because of the consistency rule. So I just kept trading. I stopped trading the micro scalp after like January, and I just went back to my regular scalps, and then they paid me out on the following payout. So yes, it will affect the consistency rule. So there's going to be a couple payout requests where you'll get denied, but if you just keep trading, eventually it'll balance out. Like I think Arik now, he's starting to balance out. If you look at his profits now, I mean, yeah, this is going to affect the consistency rule for sure, because he went from having 3,000 to like 900, but now he has some sort of consistency right here, right? Like right here, these 2 days are consistent, but yeah, his previous day down was a little too big, 3,000, 4,000. So it's going to mess with your consistency for sure. But if you just keep doing it long enough, you'll be fine. All right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here same place, same time tomorrow as we continue on with this trading week. Yeah, CJ said bought another 300K eval Friday just to see how fast I can pass using the micro scalps. Nice, nice. Yeah. If you're just looking to pass an eval, guys, I mean the micro scalp is probably your best option because you can get profits really, really quickly by doing the micro scalp. The efficiency and consistency probably not there, but if you just want to pass an eval, you can probably pass it really quickly just doing the micro scalps. Yeah. So RX said he's swinging every setup, and that's exactly what RX is doing. He's hitting every setup there, and then he's like pretty much racking up the profits. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap this up for the day, and we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time, to continue on with this.